Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know the voice. Y'all know the sound. It's your boy James Bubba Williams. DJ Exclusive is in the building. Good morning, everybody.
No more double, go ahead and detox. Yeah, yeah. Came from the trenches, they ain't showing us no love. Dagging in the city, all we wanted was a hug, yeah. We on the block like
Bluebird on my shoulder, Roller Dragon. Good morning, y'all. Julie, good morning. Mary C. the Purple Dragon, Sydney Butler. Good morning, everybody. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, like it or not. It's about to go down. Good morning. Gwen Singapore, good morning. B, good morning. RS, how are you this morning? Good morning to you. Carly Wynn, good morning. Iris Jones, good morning to you, B. We missed you too. Good to see you as always. Iris Jones, I know, right?
30 piece on my wrist like I'm Harden. Either they love me or I'm a target. Cause I told me you flawless. I've been busy and picking up when you calling. And on purpose, I hate the fact we ain't talking. But anything that you need, dog, I got you, I mean that. All this pressure make it hard not to relapse. With the progression make it hard for me to relax. To the hood, baby, ain't no way that I'ma lead that. My dogs need hope, step it up, I gotta be that. Cause life's so crazy, the way it been through. I'ma love you way before I gotta miss you. Hold this mama by my side, gave her some tissue. We were just a hood, baby, with some issues. Hood, baby, from the struggle.
G-Man, good morning. What's to be good? Let's get her 9. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Priscilla, good morning to you. Shout out to Tiger rolling in the chat right now. Good morning, Tiger. Buster missed you too. Cynthia from Texas, good morning. It's been a while, so I know y'all haven't had a dad joke in a long time. But what happens when you cross an angry sheep and an angry cow? What happens when you cross an angry sheep and an angry cow? You get two animals in a bad mood. Good morning, everybody. I know y'all missed me.
Got an appetite, let's bake ourselves a treat. What you've been mixing, serve it
Jacob,
up
good morning to you. Good morning.
I love the way you shake, you stir, you hear, you squeeze. So thick. Push up and butter me.
Push that, shake that, smack that, mix that.
Tyler, good morning. Melanie Dennis, Industrial Arts, good morning to you. What's going on, brother?
With that cream, baby, pour that sweet on me. Baby, shade up. We can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. With that cream, with that, preheat this oven up like 5,000 degrees. It's almost
love you too, Industrial Arts. I appreciate you. Melanie Dennis, Kim Davis, good morning, y'all. Draco, I'll be waiting for mine at the door, okay?
With that cream, baby,
Bryce, what's going on? Good morning to you, Bryce.
Baby, shade it. We can cook up, we can stir up when we hook up, just you and me. With that cream, with that
It's a Monassis. Good morning. That's right, Melody Dennis. If you have not already, make sure that y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button. Share as well, too. Let's build up and break this algorithm, y'all. Make sure that you share the screen. Get everybody and their mama in here. All right, so yesterday my doctor told me I was colorblind. And alone, good morning. That's right, yesterday the doctor told me I was colorblind. It really came out of the purple. Not out the blue, out the purple. Y'all, never mind, it's okay. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, like it or not. It's about to go down. Rebecca Zoe's in the building. You don't want to miss it, like it or not. Stay tuned.
Let's go. It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you.
One word on my shoulder. Yes, I did hear that. And the clip that I saw looks fairly good as well. But listen, I'm excited though. Marvel and Disney announced yesterday that they'll have a game showcase at their D23 this year. So I'm excited about that to see what new Marvel games are coming out. Y'all know I'm a gamer at heart, man. Y'all know that.
I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time to run it out.
Good morning, Mama and Daddy. I love y'all. Mean it. Mama, if you'll quit the damn job, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Love you, mother.
You can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly. I'm still fly. I know. I'm still fly. I'm still fly. Let's go. It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Close to make the man, but that poison's gonna kill you. From the inside out, it's time to say it with your chest now. Say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time to run it out.
Yes, it has, Melody. Yes, it has.
If you're on the bus, say yeah. Yeah. If you're on the train, say yeah. Yeah. If you gotta walk, say
Jago and Yakuza like a dragon, and I think we're gonna start Mass Effect Andromeda tonight. Might as well. Kareem Ransom, good morning to you.
I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time to ride it. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now.
Sydney Butler, really? Contra, up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. Come on, man. Yeah, shout out to Nat A and Shan who came by yesterday. Well, Sunday they stopped by here in Atlanta and chilled with your boy. It was so good seeing them. They are crazy, just like they are in the chat. Crazy as hell. I love them to death though. So shout out Nat A and Shan. I love y'all. I mean it. Latif, good morning to you.
My value. I'm gonna recoup it, but don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just
Buster, we should have called you, Buster. I forgot that you here in Atlanta too.
Find out you can go around throwing shots, running clouds.
Zachariah, good morning to you, Zachariah.
Block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah. I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell them I need my money right now. Promise that you stay stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you.
Oh man, I forgot to tell y'all. Guess who I bumped into on the way up to the optician the other day? Everybody.
I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business, do what you
Y'all know I ain't got no damn sense. Lily, good morning, Lily. I missed you as well too. Iris, that dog, we need to plan an ATL meetup so all of us can get together and just hang out, you know, and connect with nature. That's what we call it. Connect with nature.
Just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true, true. Tell them I need my money right now. Promise that you stay stole out.
Y'all heard what he said. Tell him I need my money.
Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my.
All right, I got one for y'all. What happens when you rearrange two of the letters in the word nuclear? What happens when you rearrange two of the letters in the word nuclear? Yeah, it's unclear. Laser Sword, good morning, Laser Sword. Good morning to you. Oh, Buster, you in Nebraska. Oh, okay. I felt bad for a minute. Elizabeth Lawson, good morning, Elizabeth. I gotta drop this down a little bit because this one is for Ben. Ben, wherever you are, this joke is for you. I'm starting a charity to teach short people maths. I'm starting a charity to teach short people maths. It's called Making the Little Things Count.
Tyson, who that ass survived doing 80 to the house, then I hit him to the sky, changed haters on a tirade, talking to their grip in the face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to reach enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips, feel big from the bib, take a sip till I pass out.
Shout out Benjamin Parnell, Phantom, Principal Dixon out there. Love y'all, man.
Turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beast with the slap, pin myself on the map. Long with the wind, but with knowing that it's capped. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves.
Mama, don't be no snitch, mama. Snitches get stitches. I'm just playing, that ain't you, okay? I'm just playing. I love you, mama.
Give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love. That's just how I'm made.
From the glass in the mirror.
Yeah.
Do it at me, old man, tryna pass
fast and the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see that. And he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad here, I'ma curve them all. 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Heard them talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past something when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young, tell me reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace.
All right, y'all. Rebecca Azor is in the building, so you can't talk. Rebecca Azor is in the building, so you know what time it is. Like it or not, it's about to go down. But before that happens, before Josh takes me down, when you die, what is the last part of your body to stop working? When you die, what is the last part of your body to stop working? Your pupils. They dilate.
Yeah, it's the summertime, right? Let's get it like that now.
Josh, take me down. So let the intro play.
Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Yeah. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going down.
Rebecca Azor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, a real life is. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. She's always coming up with the master plan. Politics, dreaming, trying to find a meaning in life. While the fans keeps us in stride.
I am your DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. I stay dropping them jams.
Good hope, dad jokes, culture, it's politics. What's here right now is the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I ended up with the plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. Tuesday to Thursday, you know how we do. Let's go. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going, it's going down.
Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. Like it or not, it's going. It's going. Hey man, let's start this damn show.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it. You give it very much. I told y'all it was gonna bump like this.
I could bump like this. You talking about Kelly? Because I'm a brown skin girl. I just want to. I'm your host, Rebecca Azor.
And I am your co-host, James Bubba Williams, DJ exclusive, Uncle Bubba, Big Daddy, all that other stuff.
So glad to be back, you guys. I've been on vacation. I know, Bubba, we all just took a break because we haven't really had a real summer break. So,
yeah.
I'm happy that we were able to do that. And we are back with you guys, giving you the last bits of our summer edition show. We should be having a nice fluffy show for you today. But if anything, we just wanted to chit chat because we haven't been here. My first chit chat. If you can hear my voice is kind of stuffed, child. I don't went on vacation, and on the last day I got the flu. So I'm recovering right now. Not COVID, but still I am sick. And so I am recovering, but I am here. I got my Haitian concoction tea right here to make sure I get right.
Right.
And yeah, so that's why my face is kind of fluffy. But I'm here with you guys. How was your weekend? Did you end up going to the concert? Were you able to make it?
For one, I forgot about it.
Oh no!
Don't shoot me. And then two, it was my niece's birthday, and that went later than I anticipated. So we were over at the family house for a while. So it was fun though. Had a good time. Had a great time.
Well, that's good. I'm happy you did. And for the people who are wondering, I sent Bubba some front row seat Babyface tickets, and he wasn't able to make it. But
Right.
okay, that's okay. I mean, it's Babyface. It's his niece's birthday. Family over anything. But Babyface will be back at some point in time.
Child, you better be glad because Babyface. Never mind. Go ahead. Oh, but I will say last week was, I had a chance to take care of some health issues. Well, not take care of them, but I had my physical and come to find out that I'm diabetical, type 2. Yeah, my last A1C rating was a 7.6. They checked it this time, and that was last year. It's a 9.1. So yeah.
Type 2 diabetic.
Yep, started me on medicine and everything and got all the monitors and stuff, which of course I can't get yet because it's not a pay week. So I have to wait until next week to get my medicine and start all that stuff, the diet and all that stuff. It's so much.
I am so sorry to hear that, Bubba.
I'm
glad that you were able to find out about it, but my next question is going to be the payments of it. A lot of people that I know that have found out that they're diabetic or are diabetic, it's hard for them to get their this is what I've heard a lot of times. It's hard for them to get their insulin or whatever medicine that they may need to keep them healthy.
Yeah. And that's going to, to me, I look at it like another bill almost, Rebecca. I mean, I don't see that's what it is because now I'm gonna need this medicine until I can get this A1C down. But like that's what I'm looking at it as. And I wasn't surprised. I had always been teetering on that line of pre-diabetic, but I've done good with keeping it down and under wraps. But I know like over the last year or so with me, just me by myself, it's like I don't like to cook by myself. So I'm like, I don't know how to cook like in small portions when I do cook. So I just go for convenience, and that's fast food and sugary ass drinks. So it caught up to me. So I was like, I was expecting it.
Yeah, I hate that for you, but how are we? So other than the insulin or whatever, I don't even know for which type. I'm not sure about how.
Yeah, thankfully, I'm not on. They don't have to give me insulin yet, so that's good. But he wants to start me off on metformin, which is a typical diabetic medicine. Yeah, so I know. I think my mom takes it and my brother. But they're starting me out on a very low dose to see how my body reacts to it, and then we'll go from there. But low carb diet, no more than 60 grams of carbs per meal, and of course working out. So I'm about to be fine.
Okay, so listen, whatever you want to do. Look, I've been inviting you out. I know I've been inviting you out to the mountain, but we don't even have to do that. We can go to. Do you like to ride bikes?
I can't because of my hip.
Okay,
it depends on what kind of bike. It depends on the bike.
But that's okay. We don't have to do bikes. We can take a walk at Silver Common. We could take a walk by the lake. We can go to the waterfall and just sit down. It's a short walk to the waterfall over there in Ross. It's just so you can see some nice views. And
y'all got waterfalls over there?
Yeah.
I love me a waterfall, Rebecca. I love me a waterfall.
Vickery Creek right there in Roswell. Yeah. You can either do the hike, which I do, but for you, we can just do the walk and go straight to there and sit down and just chill. Yeah, it's not crazy.
Yeah, I need to do that because
I'll bring my picnic.
I love nature,
and we can do fruits and stuff.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And fries.
We're getting healthy because at the end of the day, your health is very, very important, and we're gonna make sure we get you back together. And if you need, an accountability buddy, I'll be there for you. I promise.
Yeah, you were like the last one I wanted to tell because I'm just like, if I tell Rebecca, she gonna have me out here like Billy Blank used to be like doing Tybo.
Listen,
so I'm cool with it though.
We're gonna make it nice. Let me get him up on the mountain, but I'm like, no, we can do a short distance, but anything you need, we're gonna make it happen. Okay, we're gonna get you healthy.
I appreciate it.
There's good food that doesn't have to be all fried. I mean, you don't have to be. We're gonna make sure you're good. I promise. I have my sister's mother-in-law. She was diabetical, if that's the term. And I think you made that up, but I don't know. But she went through a lot, and I watched her, and it was hard to watch. But I know somebody else with diabetes who was able to keep it under control. But with all of these people that I know that had it in any way, shape, or form, it was the medical portion of it that the medical cost that really got them. There was a recent movie that I happened to watch. It was on Netflix, and there was a woman who's singing or whatever. She's a product of immigrants. Her mother is an immigrant, and she was a singer. And she didn't really fall in love with it. She did fall in love, but she had to marry a man from the army, white man, man from the Marines. Excuse me, because he checked everybody about being in the Marines. He was in the Marines. She had to marry him because she was not able to afford her own drugs to keep her alive, or to keep her with energy. So she had to marry him, and then, just to get health care.
That's terrible. And especially because I'm with our provider, everything is in-house. So it's just like, y'all want me to pay y'all expensive ass costs. So I will say this now. So if you want to donate to the Help Bubba get his medicine and his diabetic kit, that's what I call it. Please, DJ X3C on Cash App and Venmo. DJ X3C, Cash App and Venmo.
DJ X3C on Cash App and Venmo. If we could just assist you guys. I remember when you guys helped me, when I was going through my whole situation, and I appreciate you guys for that. I love you guys so much. And I know that y'all family, we don't tell everybody our business. So you guys are family. So if you would love to contribute to getting Bubba what he needs to get the diabetes under control, okay? We can definitely do that at DJ X3C, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you, brother. I mean that with everything in me. I don't mean to say that. I don't mean to say that in my low tone right now because it's lower than normal because I'm sick, recovering from the flu. But I mean that with everything in me.
It sounds good. To give me like you about to like sing. You sounding like Brandy over there.
I love Brandy, by the way. So, woo. There's so much going on in the news today. I wanted to
Jesus.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be jumping around all over the place. Josh, walk with me here. No pressure, because I know we just coming back in. I love you so much, Mina. You can fight me after the show.
After the show, right?
After the show. Now, we never got to Trump, right? Donald Trump. And okay. No, I just want to know. So, hold on. Sorry, see what I said I was going to do. Josh, is he here? I didn't know if he was here or not. Okay, that's why I was filibustering. I didn't know.
Okay, cool. Okay.
We have Chuck on the show. Everybody knows Chuck is family to the show. Bring him on, Josh. Bring him on.
Oh, I'm here.
Chuck. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, I've been here.
Oh,
apparently, I'm the only healthy person on the set right now.
Yes. And that's okay because we need that energy. We need that energy. Listen, we falling apart over here, okay? We holding it together, but we need the energy. Chuck, how have you been?
I've been all right, but I'm consumed with his diabetes news, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to hear that. And I don't even know. Is it Big Daddy? Is it Bubba? What's your preference?
He says all of the above, baby. It's all of the above.
Can I just switch it around?
Yeah.
James,
so look,
which one are we going
Bubba,
with?
James. It depends on how you feel. If you want to feel like Miss Jackson, what she say, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty,
whatever it is, right? We keep it.
So, Bubba's good. Bubba's good.
Okay. Well, maybe at some point, Bubba, we can go to Wendy's and I could order the triple bacon cheeseburger, but they got a salad for you.
A salad.
They got a salad for you. I'm gonna make sure you get that salad.
And they can
How about you just give me half of the burger?
See, we need work. It's new for him. We need work. You don't get half of the burger and you don't get the fries. We're gonna work with it. We're gonna work on it.
Can I at least get the strawberry frosty?
I don't know.
That is good. That is good.
It is good.
It is crack, man.
It's got strawberry in it. It's got to be healthy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys are making up things. This is America. A lot of things they're not good for you. Okay? They taste good, but they're not good for you. Chuck, what is on your radar? I know that we haven't seen you in a while. You're family to don't go missing like this. You've been missing on us. You've been missing.
Yeah. Well, I'm always covering a protests here and there.
Mm-hmm.
People are still getting killed in DC. Mm-hmm. It's still happening. I think in DC, and I always try to, I always appreciate you bring the local DC perspective. So when I come on, I always want to talk about that because there was a young man who was killed, and there were a couple of young men who were killed, and one you might have heard was by a Commander Jason Bagshaw, and Jason Bagshaw in D.C. is notorious because every protester hates him. He was very violent during the post-George Floyd protests. So when we heard he was off duty and he shot and killed somebody, it was no news to all of the protesters. They're like, oh, of Bagshaw, of course. So people are still out. They're still fighting for justice and many of the things that never make national attention.
Wow, I would have never. So that I would have never known, right? As far as right now, because a lot of the things that are rolling in the news, we know the news cycles and how they go. Yeah. These stories have fallen off, or they've fallen underneath the radar because they don't want us to see this. They don't want us to think that these things are still going on. What we see now is that we're hearing the news of this stuff. Protests are still happening, but they're never going to want us to see that because they want us to move on from these things happening, right? But we're going to have to continue to protest or continue to get these messages out so that we can make sure that people know what's still happening. And that's the way that we have to move towards change. But they don't want us to know, because you're bringing it up now that people are still getting killed.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And we just forget about it.
Yeah.
Forget it. I mean, there are George Floyds every week without the video.
Wow.
These things happen.
Yeah.
And then we see the videos. And then even when we see the videos, sadly it's become so commonplace that the news cycle moves on in 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So it's a problem and it's still happening. And we have to keep fighting.
Yeah. Now, I know that you know, with a lot of things that are going on, Black people are still, getting killed and murdered. People of color are still, there's a lot of prejudice happening. We know that in restaurants, we're still trying to get those places shut down. We're still looking for justice for a lot of people who still haven't gotten justice to this day. And these are conversations that we're constantly having. I know that there is one subject that you were talking about on social media recently of something that you've covered before, and that is reparations. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, reparations is something we have to keep fighting. So when I see people, and I've been at panels, I will interview people. But I think we also have to look at it a racial lens. There was a study a couple of years ago by YouGov, and they asked the question of, do you believe that slavery had an incredible effect on the racial wealth gap today, the Black-white racial wealth gap? And 73% of African Americans say yes, and only 16% of whites said yes. So as we have the discussion on reparations, really what we have to do is educate white people. Not just educate white people on the issue of reparations, but if you've gone your whole life and you haven't learned anything about the impact of slavery from then to today, and you make the connection that your wealth today has been impacted by slavery, then you're no longer saying that garbage of, well, I never owned a slave, so why should this happen today? And all that nonsense that is so anti-intellectual. And we have to fight that. So we have to educate white people on actual history if we're going to actually move the needle with white people on reparations.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you think? So I know that we do need to continuously put on white people like, hey, this is the knowledge that you need. We need to continue to educate them. But do you think that there is a time where it's like, okay, y'all need to go figure it out yourselves? Because do you think that it's do we have to keep pressuring ourselves to educate white folks that sometimes don't want to be taught because they have that rhetoric that, hey, that was like my great or my great or my grandfather's grandfather that did that. I didn't do that. So I'm not really interested in this. I'm not racist, and I don't have to abide by I don't have to be educated on that, because I'm not racist. Do you think that we should continue to try and teach them about what's going on or why we need reparations, or should we just fight for reparations?
Well, both. I would say both. Yeah, we fight for reparations, but listen, there are gonna be tons of white people. You're just never gonna move. Period. You're never gonna move. But if it's at 16%, okay, there was a time where Medicare for all polled like at 24%, not that long ago, like in 2013. Occupy Wall Street had this effect. Bernie Sanders sort of rode in on that coming off Occupy Wall Street. It got much higher, and now it's like 70% of Americans, right? We don't have it, but the point is you have to shift public opinion. And part of that part of that is an education process. So those white people that you're talking about, they're going to stay there.
Yeah.
But it has to be framed as it's not a service, it's a debt. Okay. If someone steals my wallet, I want my wallet back. Period. Right. And if someone steals my great grandfather's wallet and it's affected, and it's made a change hundreds of years later, then we have to make those connections and connect those dots in a way that is factually correct. So white people do need a history lesson, and we have to be able to be armed to give that history lesson.
Yeah, I know we have a few clips that you have posted again that you've been covering when it comes to reparations.
Yeah.
Josh, let's see what we have up first.
Is a Holocaust survivor. His name is Karl Waldman. My grandfather's family is from Poland. My grandpa survived the war, but his mother and his father were killed. All four of his grandparents were killed. Killed in Treblinka, or they're killed in the hometown of Stashev. And I grew up watching my grandfather live every day with the pain of what happened to him as a child. And my grandpa, though, receives a reparations check every month. I believe it's $700. And you know, the check does not in any way independently repair his relationship with Germany, but it does something. And I've been really moved to learn about what the German country and the German people have done to try to right the wrong of the Holocaust. I've been to Germany very briefly. I haven't been to Berlin yet, but I've heard that when people visit Berlin, there's stones that are in the residences of German families, or Jewish German families that were killed. And I've been really moved by what the German government has done in welcoming immigrants to their country, and the role that the German government has played in trying to chart a new course and really own their past. And I have hope that we can learn from the way in which the German country has owned their past here in America by owning our own past of racial terror, and that reparation can be one step, both financial reparations and otherwise.
Yeah, you see what's interesting here is he's saying that, you know, there was a reparations given, but it was only $700 to the grandfather monthly or however many. But this is for genocide literally happening. My like his grandfather, y'all, that was yesterday. Okay. His grandfather. Okay. This doesn't look like an old man. Like this is literally just yesterday in a sense. And still having to deal with that throughout their family. This is their history. This is not something that just happened, that happened thousands and thousands of years ago. This is something that can be traced back to his grandfather now. And the reparations isn't much, but we're talking about genocide that happened. We're talking about all of this, families killed, people separated from each other, all because of what you looked like. And they're saying, here, we'll give you a couple of $100. Sorry for, destroying families and a whole, just people. Sorry about that. But that, it doesn't, this is not enough. Chuck, what do you think would be enough in for reparations for people who went through things like this?
Well, I think first we have to say we have to give it, right? So it's certainly not enough, but it's starting with an acknowledgement of a wrong, right? You're starting a healing process. It will never be enough, no matter what the figure is. I think when people do the calculations of just even lost wages of slavery without all the emotional terror, it's just trillions through the chart, off the charts. So for me, as a white person, I don't believe it's necessarily even my role to say, well, how is it dispensed? What does it look like? What's the amount? I let Black people figure that out, get together and figure that out and what that is. Right. My position is a debt has to be paid back, period. And so Germany has started that process. And I think we have to do that process. And there's no such thing as it happened so long ago. That doesn't work. That does not work.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like the rhetoric that we hear all over, especially with the right. And you'll even hear people from the left that have the whole conversation of, hey, that wasn't me, like that. I am for you, and I'm not racist. You'll hear that conversation happening. So, but when it's time to understand what reparations means to us, it's not pulling money away from, you guys and your kids. It's money that is owed to us. And you're right, Chuck, you're right. For white folks, at times it's like, let the Black people get together and, have that conversation. White folks, this ain't none of your business at this portion of it. But when we are looking for the ally who can take us to the front door, partner with us, help us get these conversations out there, help the understanding happen, so that we can get it somewhere and things may pass. We need that. We need that kind of ally. We don't need you guys saying, well, it's not my business or what, or this is not my family's situation. I remember me and Bubba went to go have brunch. The man that was serving us was telling us, well, my grandfather owned some, slave land or whatever. I mean, it's not me though. Like that's like we use it to like have people come over, Airbnb type stuff. And but we don't. And I'm just looking at him like you're part of the problem. Yeah,
you benefit directly.
So let's have that conversation. But that's the whole thing where it's like, people need to know. And if educating them in that certain kind of way, if they're just throwing stuff at us and helping them know, no, you are part of the problem. Like you are part of the problem.
And we have to make a distinction here. So you said the right wing. Listen, a lot of the right wing, I'm of the opinion, I don't really mess with Trumpers that much. And I'm not saying nobody could be flipped. I'm saying it's not an efficient use of time. It just really isn't.
Right.
I'm not going to waste my time for the return on investment of a less than 1% chance. I'm not saying you can't be redeemable. I've marched with ex-Nazis who have committed their life to flipping other Nazis. So I know it could be done. But if we're trying to move the needle and a poll says 16% of white people believe slavery had a huge impact on them, that's telling me the majority of liberals don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Exactly. Right.
So let's start with the white liberals, and I'm going to worry about the Trumper after we complete that segment. The 34% of white liberals left who don't understand the history.
Yeah, I think reparations, and you're right, for what we see Germany about to do for people who still to this day have to think about what their family went through when it came to the Holocaust, or being a product of genocide, happening to be survivors. So many people didn't survive that. And it's all because of what they look like. I think America should definitely adapt that idea and start doing things that help us as Black people. We are not begging. We just have to work harder in this country for every single thing. David, our producer, had actually dropped a link and showing us about rent. Historically, how rent was, or how rent came about, where you have to put down first and last months and that kind of thing. It was because at a certain time when Black people were looking for housing, a lot of these apartment complexes and landlords didn't want Black people to live there. So they were looking for ways to make it harder. So many different things come about because America's hate for Black people till this day. America's hate for Black people. New things are being created, laws to show America's hate for Black people. Reparations will always be last on the list, if it's even there. They don't want us to move forward. We always have to work harder in every single thing that we do. So I really would love to see reparations happen, but I got to be honest with you, Chuck. It just doesn't. I don't see it in my lifetime. Well, I will continue to fight for it. But I don't see it in my lifetime.
I don't see it either. And I think we have to fight for things that we will not see in our lifetime. And that's hard for a lot of people to wrap their head around, you know?
Yeah.
But if you just look at the arc of social justice, that's what happens. I mean, before slavery ended, you had abolitionists fighting, decades earlier or 100 years earlier. You fight for what is right, and you move. It's like social justice is a football field. I'm trying to move the football, rush 10 yards. If I die, I let the next person help move it a few more yards. And I think you have to think of social justice in that view. Otherwise, you're just going to get demoralized, disillusioned, and give up, and then just go do some drugs on the couch. Because that's where that leads.
Right.
I mean, you can do some drugs and focus social justice too. I'm not saying that, but you get my point.
Yes, I definitely get your point. Right. What's funny is this fight every day. It's for everyone, and I'm happy that you are helping to get the news out there. Somebody who literally comes from sports, like you just did the sports.
I can't help myself.
There. You can't. It's just in you. It's just in you. But like somebody who comes from sports, actually devoting their time, their life to getting these types of stories out about justice and social injustice, and anything that's not covered for people of color. All of this news that isn't covered in mainstream media, you've devoted your time to that, and that is very important. A lot of times we don't know when that change is coming. We don't know. I will say this though. I know that there are a lot of leaders before us who didn't know what change would look like, but because they're continuous fight, it got us to where we are now, where we're able to even have these types of conversations, on these platforms. Back then, you probably would have been lynched or put in jail or whatever, trying to have these conversations or even being an ally. So yes, we may not see the changes now, but we could take a break for a second and get back in the fight, whatever the fight may look like. In the fight, whatever it looks like for us and how we are a pivotal part of the fight, that may change over time. I know people like Nina Simone, she fought. And then when she felt like, not that she gave up, but when she needed a break, she got up and moved to Paris, or, to just take a break. Because we're going to have to live at some point. But she did plant those seeds, so much so that we were able to see a lot of the fruition here, like through us. So
where are you moving to when you need a break, Rebecca?
I'm gonna try to move back to Haiti, child. I'm gonna
you going back to Haiti?
Yeah, somewhere. I believe in a new Haiti, and I would love to move just to go and relax in Haiti, away from America, for sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Listen, that's the plan. That's the plan, and I want that for everybody on screen. Where would you move, Chuck?
Port-au-Prince.
Okay,
no,
I'll meet you there.
I gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Too many places I wanna go to.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we
Jamaica's for me.
Okay, but anywhere. We're getting out of here. Anywhere but America. Chuck, thank you so much for coming on to the show. Listen, we want reparations for everybody. We love you that you're an ally for us. And don't go missing again, because we're gonna find you, Chuck. Tell people how they can
and
find
hey,
you.
And Chuck and Rebecca, also, if y'all have not watched the reparations episode of Atlanta, it's called The Big Payback. It's on season 3. And when I tell y'all, it goes through and shows what an America looks like if reparations were introduced. And when I tell you, it's just like it's hilarious, but it's a beautiful thing, because the white supremacists and their families get what they deserve. And just watch it. That's all I say.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. Rebecca, I'm putting you on notice. You got to make sure Bubba's eating right. You got to make sure he's eating right.
Yeah, I got him. I promise you, I got him.
Right.
I'm going to see what we could do this weekend to get him out of the house. We're going to start off with a little walk, and we're going to eat something real nice and healthy. Okay, it's going to be nice and healthy. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be nice and healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be tasty.
We're going to knock out that diabetes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's knock it out for real.
We are. We're going to get healthy. Chuck, thank you. Let people know where they can find you.
I'm on Twitter at ChuckMoD1. That's where I post a lot. I also do some sports writing for Deadspin. About to put something out next week.
All right. Well, love you. Mean it. Go enjoy the rest of your day, Chuck.
Thank you.
Yes, Chuck. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you.
Have a good one. All right. So listen, reparations. Black folks first up in America. Reparations. We need that. We're fighting for that. It's very important. It's not just because we're thinking, okay, we're owed this money. No, but we're owed this money. The blood, sweat, and tears put into America, the blood, sweat, and tears put into a lot of the creations that we didn't get any credit for. A lot of it. We deserve. Amen. We deserve. I wanted to circle back and that particular story that I was talking about with Chuck, that I mentioned that David dropped. It was, This is where we are when people think about Black people. They monetize off of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's a capitalistic thing. And we're still seeing like they won't give us the money, but they'll monetize from things that they that had us suffering. We saw slave cabins, right? Where they'll take the small slave cabin and put it out there, reform it, make it a luxury living, and allow people to come live there. That's
Yeah.
problematic. They're capitalizing off of our pain every single day. And this other one, which I want to find, give me one moment here, but this other one I want to find about rent. I want to go back into the rent part of it. It pisses me off because I don't know why this would be something that would have been under the radar. I don't know if you guys knew this, to our listening audience, but it's a thread that's being shared online, and it was shared to us by David. It said, "Did you know that rent used to be payable at the end of the month? That's because the service, for example, letting you live there, wasn't finished yet," which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, security deposits were illegal because they were considered coercive penalties. That started changed in 1866. That was changed in 1866, you guys. That's right. Security deposits and rent due at the beginning of the month in the United States literally exist because 19th century landlords wanted to make it so freed slaves couldn't afford rent from them
Hmm.
during the Reconstruction period, you guys. So I think this is a good place to start where it's just showing you why we're having to pay first months and last months. First, let's start with the hate for Black people.
Mm.
Right? All of these rules, the hate for Black people to live in anywhere. Secondly, capitalism. They're making money. They didn't care who's suffering now. Now white folks are suffering because of this. The poor white folks is just in line with us. They
Yeah.
can't that y'all gotta pay first and last month's rent. Y'all gotta show up and make sure that y'all have all the documents provided, all because it's originated from the hate for Black people.
Hmm.
Things that were once illegal became legal.
Right.
We can't find housing. To this day, Black people have the most trouble selling a home, buying a home,
Mm-hmm.
getting a loan, anything. Have the most trouble with that because it's already assumed that we're either not going to be financially savvy, we don't deserve, we have to go through hoops. So many examples of people that put up, if you go on social media, TikTok or whatever. I know that we covered one of the stories here on the show where a couple decided to pose as white people. They were first given an offer that was low on their home. When they posed as white people or allowed somebody to come and sell the same home, they were given a better offer, thousands of dollars more.
Mm-hmm.
We're still to this day being treated as less than, as we don't deserve. Because of the color of our skin, we know we're top tier. We're treated as the bottom.
Hmm.
Garbage.
Always.
Scum. Reparations is deserved to us where we should be able to afford living, afford healthcare, afford lives, the good that was taken away from us. When we were kicked out of communities, we created our own. When we were
Mm.
kicked out of lands, we created our own. Generational wealth has been something that we've been working on for years, but our
Mm-hmm.
generational wealth was bombed on. People killed. They don't want to give reparations for Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Hmm. You saw
They
that, right?
they don't want to give reparations for a lot of different places where they killed people right here in America. They've murdered people and families in cold blood for no reason. Covered a story about how they did people who got their own land and were building on that land. So many different things, churches, schools, wineries, so much stuff. Wanted to partner with white people, thought that the white people were their ally. And the white people came and shot them down and still took their land. Did not want them to progress. And that's why we don't get reparations, because they don't want us to progress. They don't want to say we did that. They want to say that was over 400 years ago. They want to say make up numbers as well, because they be strong and wrong. They want to say that wasn't my family. Yet a lot of the poor whites are suffering because of a lot of the laws that were made out of hate for Black people. Run me my money. That's what they said. Run me my money. Run me my money. Run me my money. Run it. Whew, child. America.
Has a problem.
A big problem.
A big problem.
To Donald Trump. Y'all.
Child.
I know we didn't get a chance to cover this, right? But quickly to touch on, Donald Trump's home was raided in Mar-a-Lago by the FBI. I think it was last week at some point, and we weren't here to discuss it, but it was raided. We were trying to figure out what they found because we haven't gotten all that information yet. However, the FBI agent that did raid them was somebody that was appointed by none other, I believe, than Donald Trump. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, he's gonna have to do his job. Am I right? Now, what can we do? I think in that space, if your partnership or your loyalty is to Donald Trump, I think not. His loyalty was with the FBI. As soon as the FBI, and we're going to get to the story, but as soon as the FBI did the raid, the right gathered together on social media and they fought for, listen, they hashtag defund the FBI.
Not defund the FBI.
Defund the FBI. And that, to me, was just hilarious. Whole bunch of hypocrites. Don't use the word defund. Remember when we were trying to defund the police? Don't use the word defund. Don't use that term. That's disrespectful to our men in blue. Remember that? Oh, all of a sudden it's defund the FBI because they raided Donald Trump's.
Because they raided Donald Trump house.
Now they want us to understand what defund means.
Oh, that's
it's like,
funny.
you hypocrites gets no love for me. But so they're melting. They're having meltdowns on social media. They're having meltdown in their commentary given on Fox. It's just all wrong. So armed supporters of former President Donald Trump, protested outside the FBI office in Phoenix, Arizona on Saturday, August 13th. The protest, which took place in the morning, follows the agency's raid of Trump's Mar-a-Lago property on Monday. Outside the FBI office, CNN reported that Trump supporters were carrying handguns and assault-style weapons. One protester said they were there to protest the unlawful search at the Florida property. Fox 10 Phoenix reported that one person waved a Confederate flag and others held honor your oath and abolish, baby. They moved from defund and started saying abolish FBI signs. Some Republicans, including Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and South Carolina Representative Jeff Duncan, have called for the FBI's abolition and defunding after the search warrant was executed this week. This comes on the heels of the attack on an FBI facility in Ohio by an armed Trump supporter named Ricky Schieffer. Schieffer, who appears to have posted about the Mar-a-Lago raid on a Trump platform, we know that he has Truth Social, may have also been present at the January 6th riot at the Capitol. Ricky Schieffer, who's 42, attacked FBI office in Cincinnati with an AR-15 style rifle and a nail gun. After his attempt to break into the building was unsuccessful, he fled to a rural area where police shot and killed him during an armed standoff. In another attack of domestic terrorism, early on Sunday morning, a man drove his car into a barricade near the U.S. Capitol building early on Sunday morning and then died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The man, identified as Richard York III, exited his car, which crashed at the East Capitol and 2nd Streets after 4 a.m. as it caught fire. The U.S. Capitol Police said in a statement he fired several shots in the air and then shot himself as officers approached him. It is unclear if Richard York III's incident tied to Trump supporters acting out in violence, but the timing indeed is suspicious. You don't find that suspicious?
Yes, you don't find that
You don't
suspicious?
find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious? Listen,
Yeah, these people out here killing themselves in the name of Trump. Girl, I ain't killing myself in the name of nobody goddamn president, child. I don't give a damn where you from. I'm sorry, Lord Jesus. That's too much.
In the name. In the name.
In the name.
Of Donald Trump. Remember what happened in Charlottesville, North Carolina?
Let's go.
Remember that? They were rioting in his name. They put up their little, it was giving me KKK, nationalist, racism, prejudice. It was giving me, let's go find some ERs to lynch. Remember that? And that was when he was in office. Now, circle around to January 6th of, was it 2 years ago?
1 year? It's damn near coming up on 2 years.
January of 2020?
January 6th, 20. No, it's 2021. Yeah, 21.
Oof, I said, oh my God, the time is flying.
Like I said, it's coming up on 2 years, child. We already through this month. Yeah.
So January, we circle back in January and we see these people doing what they're doing for Trump. I am from West Palm Beach County. I go to the beach in Palm Beach. It's only like 15 minutes away from my home, my mama's house. You will find, since the day of January 6th, you will find people since that day daily with their Donald Trump is the real president posters.
Really?
In their F-150s, F-250s, the latest models, American flags just waving in the back, Confederate flags waving in the front. AR-15s nicely plaqued on their side. You'll see that every single day. You can go today. They start at a certain time. Do they work?
No.
Are they getting paid by Trump's folks to do this? What's happening? If you go online, you'll see them protesting and gathering together, and they all have their guns. They had the nerve to have like a tailgate, and I want to remember what city it was, but I was watching it. I'm like, this is whack, because I was on an island enjoying my life, and that came up when I finally got service to see what was the news was happening, and that was the first thing I saw. I just turned off my whole phone after that, but seeing them tailgating and playing music that we play at the Black cookouts. How dare you? You better put your American woman. No, that's Black too. You better put your. I don't even know.
Proud to be an American.
Yeah, but no, they got their own. It's like maybe Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. I was just about to say, Rebecca. I'm trying to remember the damn song.
Yeah, go get your Kid Rocks and all those other folks, but you don't play the Black cookout songs at your racist gatherings.
Were they playing? Were they playing before I let go?
It was, and I cannot remember, but it wasn't that. It was another one, and it almost made you want to get up and start doing the electric slide. I said, "You will not. You will not." I was pissed.
I know you was. I would have went over there and cut the music off. I'm like, hey, y'all got to cut that off. Yeah,
they got AR-15s and they crazy and they get away with murders. They get away with murders. We know this.
These are facts.
Okay, they get away with shooting Black folks in cold blood, on camera, off camera, in the corners, on a full documentary. They get. Oh, and to add to the mess, as an update, the woman who actually said that Emmett Till whistled at her, Carolyn Bryant.
Yeah.
They're not going to press any charges. That's the update. They're not going to press any charges. She's going to.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you know why they did that, right?
Why they do it?
Because they feel that since they gave us something else, they gave us the four for Breonna Taylor's murder. Then they felt that they can just let her go ahead and just, oh, she's old, we can just let her die off. No, it's not a one for one kind of thing, y'all. We need both of their asses. We want the four for Breonna Taylor, which we got. We'll see how that goes. And then we want her old ass. Carolyn Bride, you shall be next. This makes no sense that you're walking around free. You're just more of an accomplice than anything else, lady. And it's your fault that this man is dead.
Yeah, it definitely is. And now this is the justice that I'm talking about. And for everybody who's watching, I know if you're an ally or if you're partnered with us in any way, shape, or form, you will never know what it's like to be a Black person. I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just telling you, understand. We've been fighting for Emmett Till's justice for a long time.
Very long time.
The mention of his name is not reparations. You got a lot of people that go to his monument and shoot it up, that they had to put a bulletproof encasing over it because it's constantly getting shot down.
And Rebecca, if you really think about it, like the way I look at this, that here it is, we are fighting for justice for something that happened before my mother was born. And that's crazy. And here it is in 2022 that we still fighting for stuff like this. Yeah. Like before my mother was born, y'all. I'm like, that's crazy.
It brings just a heavy feeling over me. I had a chance to be in Hispaniola, and I say Hispaniola because I was in both countries. Mm-hmm. My mother's land in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And I even saw the difference in the communities. I know right now there's so much unrest happening in Haiti, and so many of the Haitians moved to somewhere called, I'm about to start speaking to you in Creole, they call Santo Domingo. Mm-hmm. And I have family members, like I told you, I have family members who stay there. My brother actually is residing there because there's so much that they're running from for safety reasons. And not all of Haiti, but just to see what's happening, but also to see how the U.S. has control in the Dominican Republic. And like in some areas, it just kills me. It's almost like they're walking like, if I don't do this right, da, da, da. And Haiti is like, they're very rebellious, right? They don't go, if you don't do it the way that the U.S. wants it, they're gonna take away resources. They're gonna limit your voice. They're gonna do all of that. So just to see all of that happening, there's so much reparations that not only need to happen to us, to the countries that they've hurt, to these countries that they've hurt for putting their measly 2 cents into it, stripping from them, especially Black and brown countries. Puerto Rico was supposed to be a place that is U.S. territory, but y'all can't ever forget that them people are still to this day, from the hurricane that happened a few years ago, are still suffering, still feeling that. Places still don't have electricity to this day. We remember when Donald Trump pulled up on them and threw paper towels at them and got on a plane and flew back to Mar-a-Lago. Black and brown people don't matter, especially when the U.S. has connections to them. They don't matter. You would think because the U.S., this is their territory, they claim this territory, you would think you would see better, and you don't. You don't. I don't like it here, man. I just don't like it here. I don't.
At all. America's ghetto.
Yes, America's ghetto, because we can definitely narrow it down. Earth is ghetto, but America, it's just not what people think it is. My brother, he's a big activist, right, in Haiti and Dominican Republic. He raps, so he's well known for that. So I do get great treatment as royalty when I'm back home. But a lot of people that were meeting me was like, they want to speak English like me. They're surprised that I speak Creole. And I'm like, Yeah, I speak Creole, but you don't. English is not the best language. Even in those areas, they're trained to think that English is such the most beautiful language and that their language has no value.
Mm.
And I had to sit them down and tell them, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. That English language that you see over there, it ain't that hard to learn. But if
At
you ask
all.
them to learn your language, it's pretty tough. Being bilingual is a beautiful thing. Knowing another language, not only saying speak English, it's America. You don't get that when you go to other countries. They're not going to say speak Spanish. It's Dominican Republic. Speak Creole. You're in Haiti. They're going to try to accommodate you as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Language is beautiful to me, and they've made people feel like Haitian Creole is a dirty language. It's nasty. No, that's a language that we created because we did not want to speak the colonizers' language. We merged African dialect, Spanish, French, and some little tidbits of whatever English, not America's English, into it to create our language. Language is beautiful. Okay? Don't let Americans fool you. It ain't that serious. But the way that they looked at me like, I want to speak English like you. I'm not, no, baby. Creole is beautiful. Your language is beautiful. They not only speak Creole, they speak Spanish. My dad speaks French, Spanish, and Haitian Creole. Now, English, I don't know why they put that before. They're literally four languages in. I told you. Everybody from Haiti speaks four languages. You ask people in America what they speak. I speak English.
You got to understand it's the Queen's language that we also learned from when they came over here and colonized. So yeah, yeah. And they ain't gonna even say, so you can't say America English. You got to say the Queen's language, because then we learned this from over there across the seas,
but it ain't
and we
even the
brought over
Queens
here.
though. See, Americans ain't even, if you go over there,
It ain't the Queens. Yeah.
We it ain't even the Queen child. They done took it down a few notches or whatever. What I love about Black people too, we have here in America, we got our Ebonics, honey. And they wanted to make us feel like speaking in our, like when we're together and speaking how we want to speak together was problematic.
Mm-hmm.
No, baby. It's problematic to y'all. We got different accents in America. We can get together and start talking a different way because we don't want y'all to understand. That's natural.
Mm-hmm.
That's natural. And I like that. I do.
I felt such a type of way when Ebonics first came out. Ebonics.
Yeah.
Like, it has a form of ebony in it.
African American vernacular English.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't like that. I feel like y'all trying to like say that we ghetto, or it's like we talk some type of way. That's what it was.
And what's funny is that's the beautiful thing about Black people. We're not a monolith. Mm-hmm. Put me in any place, and it's still going to be me in each and every place because there's a time and a place. But put me in any place, and I could be speaking Creole here, or drop a little Spanish on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Put me over here with my Black American friends. We could definitely start speaking to each other in a code that we only know.
Mm-hmm.
Put me in the office. Doesn't mean I'm changing up. I'm trying to be white, but Black people, we can do it all.
Yep.
Speaking proper, and I'm going to put that in this, proper English is not something that is only put there for white folks, because I've met white folks who have country accents, missing 2 teeth in the front. Haven't been to a dentist in years. Driving old F-150s because they can't afford the new models, living up in the crevices and the corners of God knows what. But you don't see me screaming TPTs, which is what trailer park trash stands for. You don't see me doing that. Because what they'll do is they'll hear Black people who speak a certain kind of way because of their environment may be a little bit louder than others, but they put them in a box and say that's ghetto. That's people that are on child support, people who can't, or people that deserve to be in Section 8 housing, or people, they just put us in this box. But you never hear that about white people who look a certain kind of way.
Right.
You don't, who have country accents, and that having a country accent does not make you trailer park trash. And having a country accent as a Black person does not make you ghetto. It doesn't. So anyways, there's so much to découvrir when it comes to that. But Black people are still fighting to this day, even in countries where America has their hands in outside of America. They're fighting for their lives. Dominican Republic, I saw it's mad Black people over there. It is Black, it's a Black country, but they're fighting for their lives and identity. And identity. Here, these people stole identities. That's how America created themselves. They stole land, they stole identities, and they went around making other people believe what they should look like and be to other countries. They really made us believe in just the one sentence itself. Christopher Columbus discovered a certain area, even though in the same text that we were reading, there were people that were already occupying these lands.
Right.
So in reality, how did we really sit here and believe that this man discovered these places when it was already occupied by people? America really tried to make us believe that, and they made us believe that. Thank God for my university, Florida A&M University, that helped me understand and unlearn the things that I learned that weren't right. Reading the book, The Lies My Teacher Told Me, y'all need to go get it. I know I've mentioned on the show many, many a time, but it definitely helped me understand me, my culture, who I am, where I come from, a bit more. So it's always good to unlearn and learn who you are, because when you go back to places that you once were something else and you believed something else, and you go back in a different space in your mind, you can actually look and be like, damn.
Right.
It feels good to unlearn things. It feels good to come back and know your worth when you get into, and that's why I was telling them girls, you know me, I be going up and starting riots and stuff. I'm like, you believe in who you are. Your language is beautiful. You are beautiful. Ou pas besoin franciser bagay yo. Parle créole fort. You're beautiful. Ou pas besoin Angleterre bagay yo. You know? So, anyway, shout out to them girls that I met. Beautiful girls. Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. And when I was in Dominican Republic, I got hollered at. I don't got no hair in my head right now, but I got hollered at so much, y'all. They was like, Morena.
So the Dominicans is where it's at. It's like, let me tell you something. I can go to over there, and I say over there because Dominican Republic and Haiti are so close together. So that's just too many men. I can't go to that island. The Dominicans and the Haitians, girl, that's too much for me.
Listen, I was sitting outside downtown, and of course Haitians are everywhere, which I love. I love that Haitians are everywhere. They created their own. It's great, but they are treated a certain kind of way in Dominican Republic. But that's a story for another day. Now, and I vowed never to go to Dominican Republic, but I have family that lives there. And so when they're looking for a better life, we're gonna go to places that we don't want to go. We don't want to leave Haiti. You know, and I still got family that lives in Haiti. So there are a lot of things that go into that. But I will say, Bubba, I was thinking about you. I was sitting down at the bar, then I heard, you know, a little sweetness coming around the corner. I'm talking about sweetness, baby, switching the hips and all that. I said, what? Then I looked over, it was a table full of gays, like just chilling. It was old gays, young gays, in between. It was they were just chilling, having a good old gay time. And I thought, dang, Robert.
Probably listening to Beyonce somewhere in there.
Yeah, you had to see it to believe it. They were enjoying their time. It was some black people, white people, Dominicans, just enjoying their time in that moment. And I love to see it because we all right now need some good times.
Absolutely.
Need some, yeah. So one last story to cover before we get out of here. The CEO at Whole Foods is running his mouth. It's running his mouth saying that socialists are taking over. So the CEO and co-founder of Whole Foods thinks that socialists are taking over because of rising discussions of gun control in the United States. He said, quote, they're marching through the institutions. They're taking everything over. They're taking over education. It looks like they've taken over a lot of corporations. It looks like they've taken over the military, and it's just continuing. He told the libertarian magazine Reason in a podcast released on Wednesday. He continued to say, I feel like with the way freedom of speech is today, the movement on gun control, a lot of the liberties that I've taken for granted most of my life, I think are under threat Mackey said. In 6 weeks, I will retire from Whole Foods, and I have muzzled myself ever since 2009. He continued, referring to the op ed he penned for the Wall Street Journal that year, where he compared Obamacare to fascism. Though the Whole Foods executive has long been outspoken about his libertarian beliefs, the New Yorker in 2010 referred to him as a right wing hippie. Mackey said that he would be able to talk more about politics in 6 weeks than he can today. And I will say that's true. A lot of these people choose to be quiet because they know when they speak up and they show their true colors as business owners, it may be canceled.
Yeah.
Right? They can be canceled at any point in time. But now that he knows he's going to be out in 6 weeks, he can start showing his true racist colors because he's still going to be rich. But what's going to hurt him? He's retiring. So
Like,
he's ready to speak out now.
Because you come out talking about gun control and all this other stuff, we're taking away your right to bear arms and all this other shit. Man, you tripping. You tripping like hell. It's like almost makes me, I mean, I haven't shopped there anyway, but I'm just like, yep, scratch Whole Foods off the list.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't been to Whole Foods in a while.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a Whole Foods addict that recovered
Yes.
when I moved out here because there's no Whole Foods where I live. There's a Sprouts.
No
There's
Whole
no Whole
Foods.
Foods in my area. But I will say I know that Whole Foods yeah, ain't nothing special about them. They've gone under a lot of
Amazon.
scrutiny for a lot of things. Yeah, for a lot of things.
And
Their partnership with
yeah.
Amazon, and they've gone under a lot of scrutiny about the pay, about how they treat their employees, in their partnership with Amazon. So if you're treating them like that, who are you? Who are you? And I know somebody who's been working for them for years. Whew. I think from him hitting 20 and he's about to be 37 in October.
Wow.
Yes, for years.
I work with them for a week, being like the person that does the demo stuff. I just didn't like going to work, child. So yeah, they fired me like after that 3 days.
Child, I don't know. And at that time, they were paying him pennies to a dollar, and then they offered healthcare.
Yeah.
And he never had healthcare before, so then he stayed with them for that. But yeah, it's a lot of things that I know that he had to undergo working under Whole Foods. But I say all this to say, who gives a damn? Listen, now you want to speak up, it's too late. People are still gonna your brand is gonna be tarnished by the time you start speaking out.
Yep.
So whoever takes that place, you're gonna be messing it up for them. Racist is gonna be racist. This is what you always thought. And now we can see why some of the moves that Whole Foods made were the moves that Whole Foods made.
That they made. Absolutely.
The leadership was racist. The leadership was prejudiced. The leadership had problems with people fighting for their rights. So rich people always want to talk about that. Gun control. Why in a country like America, a lot of these corporations should be backing gun control. It should be backing gun control. Your stores are not above being shot up either.
Right.
Your grocery store is not above being shot up either.
Wait, that's what it is. They think that since it's like mostly a grocery store that's shot by its Caucasian patrons, and then because the neighborhoods that they're in and the kind of people that they serve, the lifestyle or whatever, they think that they are free and clear from any of that. It'd be a rude awakening if some shit does break off like that. I mean, nobody is safe. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No one is safe. So, I mean, it's sad that this is happening, but this showing you that our leadership are still unafraid of taking their hoods off. And whatever leadership that may look like, they're not afraid to take their hoods off at this point, or wear their hoods in public now, with the K being bright like a S on their chest, okay, on their hoods. So We got to protect ourselves, continue to protect ourselves. The rhetoric is and now coming from the top. People are using their voices to partner with right wingers to go on. We probably will see this man on Fox News as soon as the 6 weeks drop.
Most
He
definitely.
will be there and dropping his pieces, his think pieces about what he thinks America should do and how America is becoming more un-American because they're offering people sick leave. Anyway, I love you guys so much. We are at the end of the show. Bubba, before you get out of here, do you have any good words or affirmation to give to the people?
Let's see here your affirmation for today on this beautiful Tuesday. If people want to make me as stressed as they are, it is okay for me to refuse it.
Amen.
And I like that one. If people want to make me as stressed as they are, it is okay for me to refuse it.
As
Amen,
your camera went out as well.
If my camera tries to stress me out.
Yep. If people want to make you as stressed as they are, it is okay for you to refuse it. That means if they're offering you stress, you can walk away from that. No matter who it is, you love them, your family members, your best friend, your side chick, your past, your future, whatever that looks like. It is okay. You do not have to receive that, baby. Reciprocation looks good. Okay. So if you are giving goodness to people, you should be able to receive that back. If people are trying to stress you out and you're giving nothing but goodness, you can refuse that and keep it pushing. That could be your job as well. I love you guys so much. We are at the end of the show. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bubba, take over. Love you guys. Mean it. Taco Tuesday.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in this morning and rocking with us. We greatly appreciate y'all all the time. Again, if you want to help out and reach out to us as we're doing this for the free ski over the summertime, DJ X3C on Cash App and Venmo, and Becca's Voice on Cash App. Becca's Voice on Cash App. Love y'all. Mean it. Got to get out of here today. Got to go take my neighbor's kid to school because I'm just that type of guy. Love y'all. Mean it, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.
What's love got to do with it? He comes around, better knock that stuff down. Come a little bit closer. Yeah. Come a little bit closer. Yeah. To all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly.